Hi guys, thanks for joining. So today I'm going to go through and answer why I actually ended up and how I actually ended up in the Philippines. So stick around and we'll go through it. Thanks guys. So back in 2015 is when I left my workplace and decided to open up my own business. And when we started out, it was just myself and Billy, who was working on the accounting service in a brand new accounting firm in the place that we were doing all our work was at my home. So I had a little spare room on the side, and that's where I was doing a lot of the work with Billy. I was reviewing the work. Billy was doing a lot of the legwork. And it came to a point where we just didn't have any more time. Didn't have any more time to be able to perform the work and provide the service. One of the things that all new business owners face is that we are, whether fairly or not, we are compared with other big and established business. And unfortunately, the thing for new business owners is that expectations are already there. So even though you're starting out, you only have your one-man show, you have one or another person supporting you. There are basic expectations, and the basic expectations are you have time to speak to your clients whenever they need you to, whenever they need to speak to you. And the fact that you can answer their questions and you can provide them with basic customer service. And all new business owners, you're wearing multiple hats. You're having to perform the work, having to do the sales or perform the sales function, and you have to do the marketing function. And then you're looking after all your IT equipment, making sure the computers work, paying all the bills, and as well as being able to speak to the clients and be available to them to make sure that you maintain the relationship. So that was very tough for myself, and I'm sure that's the same for a lot of new business owners out there. So in saying that, being able to provide basic customer service or basic business functions that other big businesses provide as just a standard practice is very difficult for new business owners. And the one thing that is not spoken a lot about is the fact that these big businesses have advantages over smaller business. A lot of the functions that you go to, that you experience with bigger businesses, for example, customer service or technical support, those roles are actually not performed in Australia. A lot of the time, I'm sure you would know, you get a lot of phone calls from customer service representative from either from the Philippines or from India. It's very common. Your tech support can come from, India is very common, as well as now they're moving into Vietnam and other Southeast Asian countries. Unfortunately, for small business owners, being able to do this is outside of the scope of many of the new business owners' skill set to be able to, pull apart part of your business function or business process and outsource and bring it into another country is not something that is very straightforward. So it's quite complex. A lot of risk that you have to consider. How do you collaborate with a member from another country? How do you ensure quality is there? How do you ensure that expectations are met? As well as you're able to track costs and provide all the facilities that the member in a foreign country requires to perform their work. And to do that is not easily accessible for small business owners. So what are the options for small business owners? the options are really you have to hire locally. And when you hire locally, you're faced with a very high minimum wage, and the employment and regulatory requirements for employees in Australia or in the US is very high compared to other developing nation workforces or developing nations employment requirements. So when you're doing that, right off the bat, you are already at a disadvantage compared to the bigger business. So not only do you have to go into the market and compete with the bigger business, you're doing so at a disadvantage. You're doing so already with one hand tied behind your back. And luckily, I have a background with working with overseas team members. I came from an investment banking background where working with overseas members was just the norm. So I had to organize and collaborate with a lot of these members overseas. So I thought, why don't I do that for myself? And one day I spoke to a friend who actually lives in the Philippines, and he invited me over, and literally the next week, Billy and I jumped on the plane. We flew to the Philippines, and that's how everything started. So here we are today, and that's the reason why I have a business here in the Philippines, just to make sure that we are actually on the same level playing field with the bigger businesses. I hope that answers your question, and you found that informative and you enjoyed the video. I really appreciate it if you would subscribe and smash the like button below and turn on that notification bell. Take care until next time. Bye.